Whoa. Okay guys, this Sunfire I'm running, it's typical mod 6 on the gear, the pinion, and the spur, and it's also on this one, those are pretty easy to find in mod 6 gear, but for your pinion, but I'm running a larger shaft, so 5mm shaft on my other red one, just like on this one, so I'm going to have to wait for my gear to come in to complete the red one and get it going, but no big deal. I had to trim the body on this one in the front because the front wheels were kind of just barely catching the body. The red one, it's going to have the same body. I might trim it too. But I'm waiting on parts for the red one. I got shocks and a few other things coming in there. So I'm not going to run the red one in this video, but on my next video I will. The blue one did real well, other than the body was rubbing, but that's repaired. Okay, here I've got the front end out. I'm just showing some still shots of it so you can kind of see how it goes together and comes apart. Pulled the dog bones out, popped the links off, pulled the pins out of the suspension arms, and I can notice that they're both bent. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and that's looking at it from the front. Okay, I'm starting to break down the front end and kind of keep things organized so I know what's going on. This piece here, I thought it was part of the diff, but it's actually not. It's separate, so I can maintain my thumb screw and not have to go back to body clips, because if it was a metal one sticking up, that would have been kind of not too good. Anyways, yeah, so 2 more screws and the shock tower comes off on the front. The back's different though. It doesn't have that separate piece like that. Okay, something to note, when you take off the shock tower, your 2 balls for your shocks mounts, they go towards the top. They're on top, and then for your links are at the bottom here. But that way you don't get it reversed, turned around backwards. That's the front of the car that direction, so balls up on top facing forward. Okay, moving on. That's kind of what it looks like, disassembled. Now it's got to get this bottom plate off and pull the diff apart and look at it. Okay, on this plate here underneath your diff, if you can see it that well, notice that the hole faces towards the front. I mean, I guess you could look at the exploded view in the manual and see that, but anyways, that's facing towards the front, okay, as it sits in the car. So I'll pull that off. It just comes off like that. Okay, so basically that's it. Okay, here's a look at the front diff. This is looking at it from the front. There's 1 screw on top, and the 2 screws that help hold in the shock tower are also, so there's 3 screws holding the case together, and then you can break the case apart pretty easily. So it looks pretty dirty in there. It looks like it even has debris in there. But yeah, you can buy the diff separate like that and just install a new one. There's your gear inside. I don't even know what the name of that gear is, but or if it even looks very good, but it doesn't look too bad, really. I mean, knowing how I am, I probably wouldn't take this diff and rebuild it. I'm going to break it apart and look inside and just see what's in it, but I don't think I'm going to rebuild it or put new gears in it unless I find something broken. Everything looks good on it, so I'll do that. Just for informational purposes. The gear's held in with just a clip, just like they have on the on the pins that go through the A-arms, you know, just they use those clips, and I'm not a big fan of them, but because I'll have to buy a bunch of them. I'm going to go ahead and clean out the housing and put new grease in. I'm just going to use this stuff here that I have. I mean, I don't want to waste too much on this diff, because if I get another diff, I'm going to go ahead and get the whole complete diff aluminum and a whole complete, you know, new setup altogether. You know, if I decide to really get into that, because to me that's kind of a waste of time trying to rebuild this little thing. Okay, I re-greased it. That's about it. I'm not even going to add diff fluid or nothing, because everything seems to be working fine. I don't even waste my time, because you can buy a brand new complete diff front or rear for 20 bucks with case and everything. And if you went with a metal one, it might be just a little bit more aluminum, but that's just too much tinkering for me. All right, let's move on. I guess my point is here on getting every little part, like, you know, a real expert would, is that just sourcing the parts takes forever, man. You can spend a whole day just sourcing parts and trying to find, you know, if you went with an aluminum case, I'm sure that you're not going to have, you know, screw threads. You're going to have machine, you know, threads. So that you'll have to get all new screws. You probably want to go with stainless, you know, and just like kind of like pulling on a thread, man. You could easily spend, just on the little $200 Sunfire, you could spend probably $1,000 easy, no problem. So, you know, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I'm going to make this thing nice, and I'm going to use the parts I have, and if this guy goes out, I'll buy another one. No big deal. I'm a firm believer in saving money where you can, especially on a car like this. I mean, I would have liked to make this a trophy queen, but shelf queen, whatever you call them, but I'm not going to do that. This, I mean, why order new ones when this material, in my opinion, is not very hard material? It's like, it's not tempered steel, you know, so I'll probably just straighten it out and reuse it. Why spend $9? I'm going to get $9 for these pins. I mean, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Not for this material. It's already straightened, and I'm just on a wobbly bench. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just reuse them. I haven't really ran this car that much, so you know, I'm going through everything. My shocks are plenty full. You know, I'm checking everything on the front end, and everything's good. So I can't see wasting money and putting money into this at all if it doesn't need it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is not the platform to be dumping money into. But it's a cool little car, and I'll keep the whole front end just the way it is. It's working out good for me. Okay, forgot to mention, I'm running the exact same electronics in the Sunfire as I am in the Typhon, version 3 Typhon, the 100 amp VLX or Spectrum, Firma Spectrum system is the exact same in the Sunfire. I put the exact same system, so I only run it at 50%. Matter of fact, I'm using a Spectrum radio to run it. So I just run it at 50%, and that's just where I run it on 3S. And basically, I can only fit a 3S soft pack in the Sunfire. I can fit a hard pack, of course, in the Granite. I could probably easily fit a 4S in there. But yeah, that's it pretty much in a nutshell. So this thing, I mean, if I ran it 100%, I mean, you know, I guess I could do it for speed runs, but I'm sure I'd crash it. So I just leave it at 50%. It runs real good. I probably should run it on 2S and go to 100%. Yep. Okay, here's my other Sunfire. Actually, all the parts that I'm putting on it are actually Redcat Tornado parts. But it'll be my second one, and I'm waiting on shocks and pinion gear and even maybe an alternate motor mount for this guy, but we'll see. Okay, there it is with the Redcat body on it, painted red, and I'm gonna use the same rims, and I might use that spoiler, I'm not sure, but we'll see. And I'll show it and run it when I get it done. Probably be about another week. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the video.